I've been thinking a lot about grounding. Is that focused? Grounding is a word that I've rediscovered. It's something you hear a lot as a kid. Just ground yourself. And you're like, okay, I have this definition in my head. And then you get on through life and you sort of have a feeling. And you're like, what is this feeling that I'm experiencing? And then you remember that word and you're like, oh, this is what that is. I'm not in focus, am I? Feelings are funny like that. They're really hard to describe. But if you describe it well enough, people will know that thing that you're talking about. That aspect of being alive. Maybe this will be interesting. So this is a feeling of when you're connected to yourself. When you feel the most to yourself in a moment, and it feels like that moment lasts forever. Do you know what I'm talking about? That kind of happiness isn't bought or earned. It's created. It's created from within. So I've got a question for you. What do you want? What are the things, the feelings that you want to be in your life? What are those feelings? I know since I was a kid that I wanted to feel adventure. I wanted to feel safe, light. These are really bad ways of describing what I'm talking about, but there's certain feelings that I gravitate towards, and I try to construct my life in a way that allows those feelings to be there. This is really cerebral, but just bear with me. In your life, there are situations that can't be changed. Who your mother is, who your father was, who your family is. It can't be changed. What country are you currently a citizen of? You can't change that. Do I need to pay taxes? Yes. But anything that is not a fact of life is up for you to decide. It's one of the magical things about being an adult. I made this really amazing video for Mr. Sunday Movies. It's a top 10 list of movies, but it quickly devolves into madness. But the funny thing about it is, I really love this video from like an emotional level.
There is something to be said for enriching your life by surrounding yourself with people that you love and can lean on, whether that be family or friends, and there is real purpose and genuine meaning in that.
This video means a lot to me. I think some of the stuff that he's saying are like true and important to think about. So what do you want? If you could have everything that you've ever wanted, what would your day-to-day ordinary life look like? From an achievable perspective, what is it that you could make your life into? These wants have to be achievable. You have to set yourself up for success. Getting points on the internet, for example, is not real or healthy. All that amounts to is being able to look at your phone and feel more of a rush of dopamine the more that the numbers go up. And even that quickly goes away. You can't say, I'm going to be the highest paid film director ever, and make blockbusters that change the world. You're setting yourself up to fail. I'm talking about right now. Right now. What is it you want out of this moment in time? Right now, you're watching me. You are sitting probably somewhere. Are you sitting in a place you really want to sit at? Are you at a location that you really want to be at? Are you sitting in a position that you really want to be sitting in? These are really abstract things that I'm asking, but I'm wanting to introduce you to this idea of choosing your life. By bringing it down to the minuscule, it sort of reflects the bigger picture. What's that called? Microcosm? It's sort of an introduction to the idea, the thought process behind existentialism, I guess. Grounding is when you feel like yourself. The world has a habit of taking you away from yourself. It tells you the things that you want. Commercials, music videos, society's obsession with money. These things reprogram your brain and trick you into what it is you think you want. When really there's more internal wants. There's wants from your true self. And if you connect to your true self and you decide you want to do what that version of you wants, it's a much better way of going about being happy. One of the truths that I've learned recently is that, and this is a big one, your thoughts are not you. Which can be a little scary. Your thoughts are like flying in the wind, going on this train of thought that's just kind of sorting through different files in your brain. But if you've ever had a moment of clarity, you know that that is when your head is on straight. I hate using these like colloquialisms, but it's like the easiest way to describe it because they're referring to true things. They're referring to true human emotion. I know that asking myself the question, what do you want, is a quick way for me to reconnect to myself, to the desires that I had since I was a kid. Fulfilling childhood dreams every day by doing those things, by taking action on it in some way, in some small way. Because if you get what you want in small ways, it sets you up to get what you want in big ways. Oh yeah, I had notes. Where are my notes? I had notes. Okay. A bit of a hiccup that you can hit. How to Train Your Dragon. A little bit of a hiccup that you might hit is mistaking dopamine fixes for grounding. Some activities that we may choose to do throughout the day, like I'm gonna sit on my phone for hours on end. I'm going to watch 50 YouTube videos. You may want to do these things, but I guarantee you your inner self does not want to. That want has been programmed into you by the fact that you get so much dopamine off of it that you kind of rely on it. And it tricks you into thinking that that's the only thing. I feel really grounded right now. That's why I can talk about this right now. Are you kidding me? I think we all want those big moments in life. Those big moments, like, whoa, this is what my life should be. This is exactly how I want it. The experience of being alive right now is just great, and I'm appreciative of it. Those moments can't really happen when you're doing something passive. If you're sitting watching TV, if you're having audio just pumped into your brain, it's not gonna give you those things. You're at least guaranteeing that you're not gonna feel grounded in that moment. In some cases, in some rare cases, maybe it could. But you have to intelligently use your discretion to identify what is healthy grounding and what is unhealthy coping mechanism. Because would you rather cope through your life, or would you rather live your life? So pretentious. And I'm telling you, you would rather live your life. However, my way of living is not everyone's, and some people don't want to feel these feelings, which is fine. It's totally fine. It's up to you. I'm into exploring the deep stuff. The deep stuff is interesting to me because that's what I think life is really all about. This is really hard to talk about, but I'm just starting because fuck it. I'm not talking about goal setting. Goal setting is important, but I think what I'm talking about is slightly different from that. What I'm talking about is more moment to moment. When you catch yourself watching your 5th YouTube video instead of working, you may find yourself in a war between what you want to do and what you should be doing. I'm trying to tell you that this isn't even what you want to be doing. This is not what you want. This is something that you've been tricked into thinking that you want. What I think we all really want is connection, and to be in tune with nature in any capacity, and to love ourselves, to take care of ourselves. I've constructed a lot of my life based on happy emotions, things that give me genuinely happy emotion, not in a childish way, but more in like a childlike way, where it's like, oh, this is great. And suddenly just my day is filled with all this brilliant energy, and it's so good. So 3 questions. What do you want? No, really, what do you want? And seriously, in this moment, right now, what is it that you want to be doing? When I was a kid, I used to imagine this like fairy tale, utopia, futuristic city. A very vivid image of this city in my head of like a utopia society with all these cool buildings and stuff. Something that I've been doing lately is just playing with my imagination again. Just trying to get back to that place I was in when I was a kid and imagining this perfect world. Really escaping to it. That's one of the ways that I feel grounded, is just imagining that stuff. What I'm trying to say is, whether or not you have felt grounding in your life before, you want it. It is the best feeling in the world. It's a feeling that everything is okay, that, oh, you feel peace, you feel warm, you feel happy to be alive, just to be alive. You feel really connected with the people that you're with in those moments, whether it's digitally or face to face, and you feel like life is truly worth living, just intrinsically. It's just beautiful. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. That's my introduction to grounding. We'll start there. We'll see where it goes. How y'all doing? You still with me? You still good? Tell me how you're doing in the comments in week 4 of quarantine. I'll read them all, and I'll give you a big hug, because I liked it when I did that last time. Yeah, that's a good hug. Aw, yeah. Talking of grounding, I just want a hug all the time. That's my grounding. If someone can give me a hug, I'd love that. It would make me feel even happier. Goodbye. Take care. Have a good one.